give up on our dream to play in a heavy metal band, but not the guys of Divine Sorrow. Please welcome Ken Calcaterra and Keith Dickerson.
Yes.
That's a mouthful. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so, you know, a heavy metal band, rap band, whatever it is, why should people not give up on the dream, and how does that relate to what we're doing today?
Just any dream. And it's just, as an artist, I hope it's not giving up on making a statement and having an original voice. It's just music allows people to do that. Keith is not in Divine Sorrow, but he guides those guys. He kind of brought them together. But he has his own bands, and he has his own voice. So it's just putting something out there and putting that good energy out there, and music's wonderful for that.
And we're going to talk about that in a minute, Keith. But first, talk to me about how you brought Divine Sorrow together and where the inspiration for that.
So the show is It's a Hard Rock Life, and through a friend, I met a gentleman by the name of Paul Shafran, who's a guitarist. He's in 4 bands. Just his life is just crazy. He always says he's a juggler with greasy catcher's mitts. So through Paul, I met Keith, who's in the same neighborhood, and then Brian, who's the front man of Divine Sorrow, he rents a house from Keith. So the show is about music, but it's also about community, family, and this neighborhood. Who Keith he's done a lot of rehabilitation of houses, and he's done a lot to really build this neighborhood up. So he's kind of like you could say the godfather of this neighborhood.
So tell me, why a hard knock life? Why do something like that?
Well, It's a Hard Rock Life is it's just something that's showing that life can throw you a curveball. But you have to continue to keep moving forward. You have to take that and do the best you can with it. So when life gets hard, you have to rock harder. And Keith has definitely done that in his situation, which we'll talk about later.
Well, tell me how you came to meet Keith, how you came to bring Keith in and start the project you're doing with him.
So with Keith, one day Paul was saying, hey, we're going to put together this reality show. And Keith comes out there. I first meet him, and he's like, whoa, this is great television, blah, blah, blah. And I want to let everyone know we're not really, I consider it more of a docuseries because reality is not real. It's just, we're more truthful. These guys are actually friends. So good, bad, the ugly, it's all real. So Keith was just out there, and yeah, this is great. Wow, Paul, wonderful thing. And then as I got to know him and learn more about his charity and his skills as a drummer, and just he's always coming up with little one-liners and just like goofy things that you're like, this guy can't be real, but that's who he is, and I just think it's just amazing. So we've become friends, and just a great dude. So it's just somebody that I want the world to know.
So then tell me what it meant to you when somebody who does documentaries that make a difference came to you and said, hey, we want to do a piece that involves you.
Well, I was totally blown away because he was starting with the music part first, and then when he found out that I had lost my son to heroin 6 years ago, and I started a foundation to raise awareness and help educate people, he thought that was a very interesting aspect to bring into this. And talking about the music the way we do, yeah, I've been a drummer all my life, and I really thank God that I can play music because it helped save my life after I lost my son. I mean, literally. It was a very good outlet for me to get rid of some grief to some degree. Obviously, it'll never go away, but and since then, I thought, well, this is a good avenue. This would be a good way to get it out there because now my life has changed in such a way that all I want to do is help educate prisoners and high schoolers and everybody that there's a huge epidemic of heroin out there, and it's killing a whole generation. So we have to educate them. Well,
when we come back, we're going to talk about what you're doing to get that education out there to the public.
Sure.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about your story. Stay tuned. We'll have more with It's a Hard Rock Life after this quick break.